Stop doing this one thing if you want to get your business from 1 to 5 million. My name is Don Markland. I'm the CEO of Accountability Now, and we work with businesses all over the world to help them grow from 1 to 10 million. That's really what we do. We work with CEOs, executives, owners, just like you, and we help them grow from 1 to 10 million. And I have seen this so many times that owners, just like you, do this one mistake over and over and over again, and it keeps you locked at 1 million or 2 million or that one plateau spot. And this one mistake is you keep trying to hire yourself. You keep trying to duplicate yourself. And I hate to tell you something that is not true, but there's only one of you. And I'm not trying to sound like Tony Robbins or Brendan Burchard or something and be all guru, but there's only one you. Only you could have created this business. Only you could have built what you built. And that's an amazing, incredible, powerful thing. But stop trying to duplicate yourself. And let's be honest, having you as an employee would probably be a huge pain in the ass. You don't want an employee like yourself. In fact, that's the last thing that you want. What you want is a whole team of people doing the things that are really successful in your business and that help your business go to the next level. In the early 2000s and late 90s, there was a book called First Break All the Rules. And right now, off the top of my head, I can't remember who wrote this book. But in that book, First Break All the Rules, they talk about the idea that sometimes we as entrepreneurs get stuck in. We oftentimes think that everybody wants to be like us. They all want to be entrepreneurs. They all want to be leaders. They all want to advance in their careers. We believe in this concept of career path and growth and all these things. But to be honest, many people want to be really successful at what they do. And that's where their greatest happiness lies. And so stop thinking you and more of you is the answer. In fact, that's the problem. And to use First Break All the Rules as an idea, you want to find people that you can put into the right roles in your business and keep them in that role as long as possible. Incentivize them to be high performers in that role, to be trained well in that role so that they can stay there and be successful in that role. Imagine people in particular roles doing that over and over for a long period of time so that they are as mastered in that role as you are in your mind. Your business becomes more efficient, more successful, more profitable, and you as the owner become less tied to the success and operations of the business. So your first task today in watching this video is start to follow the Elsa principle that we learned when we watched Frozen. And if you have little kids, you watched it 1,000 times. Learn to let go. Learn to hand off key pieces of your business and give it to people that truly love that element of the business and will stay in that role for a really long time. Incentivize them to stay there and get them excited about doing that role. That's your first assignment. Step number 2, and building off of this mistake, is I want you to remind yourself that what you know and what you do is not central to your brilliance. In the early 1900s, there was a wonderful psychologist called Sigmund Freud, and he used to talk about this concept called the ego. And I'm sure you're familiar, at least loosely familiar, with the idea of the ego. And every entrepreneur at some level has an ego, and they start to really get excited about who they are and the impact they have on their business. And all those things are true, and you are incredible. And I know just a second ago, I talked about how brilliant you are. At the same time, you are not so brilliant that what you do is only dependent on you. You are not the only person in the world that knows how to talk to your clients. You are not the only person in the world that knows how to sell your services. You are not the only person in the world that can paint a house that way, or that can work with that type of a patient, or that can do those types of things. And you've got to start reminding yourself of that idea, that I am not the only one that can do this. And this is an important part. We do this in our coaching all the time. We have to remind our owners and entrepreneurs that you have to start telling yourself over and over, I'm not the only one that can do this. Because many times you're actually telling yourself the opposite. You're telling yourself, I'm the only one that can do this. I'm the only one. If I want it done right, I've got to do it myself. Every time you say those things, you are cementing in your mind that you're going to stay at that 1 million or 2 million mark. You have got to let it go. You have got to start telling yourself every day, I'm not the only one that can do this. I'm not the only one. I'm not that special that this job or that this task or that this sales piece or that this specific function can't be done by many people, and many people brilliantly. I promise there are people in your organization today, on your team today, that with the right training and the right focus could be brilliant at what you do right now. And then number 3, create the right incentivizations to make it fun for them to succeed. And when they fail, and I'm sure they will, don't punish them or beat them up or fire them for not being as brilliant as you are right now. Remember, have a little perspective. You learned your trade, you learned your skills through hours of failure. And you gave yourself probably some great latitude along the way when you made those mistakes. And sometimes when you put people in roles, you forget that and you hold them to the standard that you are at today. When people are learning a role and they're starting to figure it out and get better, you stop giving them the grace of learning through failure. And I want you now as the entrepreneur and the owner to let them learn through failure. Let them learn through growth and mistakes just like you did. And then incentivize them to grow and accelerate as fast as possible so it can be fun to succeed in your business. Those little 3 things will help you solve the biggest mistake you're making in your business. If you are tired of being stuck at that 1 million or 2 million mark, and if you are tired of being chained to your job, don't fall into the trap of trying to hire yourself. That trap is a fool's errand and will keep you there, and you will always just have a big, expensive job as opposed to the business you've always dreamed of. Follow these tips and any other tips that we give on the channel, or you can always check us out at accountabilitynow.net where we can help you grow and scale your business. Please, if this was helpful, leave some comments below, like and subscribe to this channel, or even better yet, share it with somebody that you know is stuck at that 1 or 2 million mark and is trying to make strides to get to the next level.